Hello, and welcome to the Authentically Elisa podcast, Unmasking Your True Self. I'm Elisa Bogarts, your guide on this journey to discovering the most genuine version of yourself. Each episode is a step towards unveiling the incredible power that lies within you as we strip away all the shoulds and shine a light on the coulds. Together, we'll explore the path of self-empowerment, self-confidence, and the courage to be unapologetically you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create great content with AI and become known. And today, my guest is Lee Aldridge, and she is a visionary alchemist and brand strategist, empowering leaders to activate their superpower and emerge as powerful game changers in business and life. With over 30 years of experience in brand storytelling and marketing, Lee helps conscious leaders craft compelling brand stories that attract, resonant ideal clients while increasing visibility, revenue, and impact. Who doesn't want all of that for their business? Welcome, Lee. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I know it sounds complex, but I'm going to break it down for you. It's not rocket science. It's really not.
Perfect. That's so great to hear. I'm excited for us to dive into that.
Take a breath.
But yeah, tell me how you got into this field of work and just, why you're so passionate about it.
Well, that is a great question, and it's a loaded question,
Mm.
really, Elisa. There's so many facets. When you get this many decades, there's so many layers and cycles of learning and growing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
um, just to keep it more current, I mean, I spent decades helping people tell their stories from behind the camera as a
Mhm.
professional photographer. And now I'm a brand strategist that I help people finally say what they really mean to capture the essence and in a way that their audience feels it. So, what do I mean by that? I mean, what I tell people kind of is that, I read light in a different way now. Um, I was really able to just sort of hide behind the camera and capture, just really it was like this meditation because I didn't have to talk to anybody. I could just watch and capture. And most of those resonant emotional response images were the ones that there was no way I could reenact it.
Right.
And that's the way humans are. That's the way we are. We each have a unique story that's worth sharing, that's different, that's distinct. And so now I just, you know, moved it into words, but when I talk to people, see, I can gain time back with AI, but when I talk to people, I can capture that essence. And that is what stands out to the people that you want to serve. You may think you're going after one and you're not resonating. It's just not a match. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
showing my hands as if we're on video, but there's just a disconnect.
Yeah.
So, and it pervades throughout the brand, the whole
Mhm.
marketing, the development. You're trying to grow and it's just not right. I mean,
Right.
something's off. So,
Wow. Yeah. Very cool. And so, how do you think that we can reshape business to be more in integrity?
I love that you stand for integrity.
Yeah.
I thought about that because the way that we're going to do it is to finally stand up for something. You know, for what we stand for, then we're going to stand out
Mm.
to the people that think like us, and that we're in a community, in a collaborative era. There's not that top down thing is going away. We're into teams and collaboration and
Hmm.
um learning from each other, and it's so refreshing. Um and I think that that's how we're going to make this shift. It's a crazy shift. It started in 2020 and it
Mm.
just has taken on different outfits, but it's been just as volatile and uncertain as the whole time. So I think we got to go in. We've got to go inside. There's nothing out here that has an answer for me personally or
Right.
professionally anymore, you know?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you said that. I do think too, like there's definitely been a shift of and even in like the coaching world, about people wanting to work more. It was all about building relationships, that someone doesn't want to be just like one of 100 in a group program anymore. They kind of want more, a little bit more one-on-one support, or smaller, more intimate. They want to build relationships. They want like, actual like learning and accountability and things like that. So yeah, definitely in the business world. And I think you're right. That's really being a bit more in integrity. And I also love these talked about that the top down thing just doesn't work. It's so funny when I worked in Europe for 10 years, and they have a very different work culture there. And as opposed to sort of North America, where it's like, you kind of have to be this workaholic, and like, there's a whole structure and this and that. And there I felt they were more about like the people, and they were more about, no, everybody gets 5 weeks of vacation. And it was very more centered around the person. And so I didn't really feel that hierarchy. And so sometimes when I um, encounter those people that kind of feel that way, like they're sort of like above you, and treat you less than, I always think like, oh, wow, I haven't experienced that in a while. So, because I think
I
that it's
know,
few and far
right? And
between
you're
now.
like, what are you missing by being
Hmm.
that way? There's so much, everybody has a gift, a superpower, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. And
love that
I
you brought up that work ethic. You know, it's so different. I talk about the Norway plan is the way I say it. You know, it's like what is it, a 3 or 4 day work week? I mean,
I think so.
it's
Yeah, maybe 4 days for sure. I'm not sure about 3,
4 days.
but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And and it's interesting as well, since 2020, and especially with COVID and people working more from home, that culture had to shift, which of course where I worked, it had already shifted a lot, but there were some places it was very much, if you're not at your desk and I can't see you, you're not working. Right. And it's like, I can be at my desk slacking off if I want to.
You
I
know,
could be
yeah.
playing games and you have no idea. I could be sitting here bored out of my mind doing nothing. Or I could be at home, and so that I love how that kind of shifted as well, where it became like, okay, we have to trust that people are working. Some people did take advantage of it, and a lot of people actually worked better, harder, longer, and yeah, so I think there's definitely a lot of shifts happening.
I think it takes a certain amount of passion. And
Mm,
that again, getting to the integrity
yes.
of your how we're going to do business is being true to ourselves and being able to be seen for that superpower in a group or team setting, you know. Um that's where the integrity is, and it's interesting to watch it evolve, isn't it? What are you
Hmm.
seeing around that?
Yeah, it is fascinating, and it's interesting where people are in different places, because I work with so many different clients, and being their project manager, so I kind of become part of the team for a short amount of time, right, and help them with this launch.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so sometimes I get into a team, and yeah, the structures are very different, or sometimes it's just a solopreneur, and kind of find out like, oh, you're actually still solo because you don't play so nice with others. And so there is no team aspect in your business, and where other people are very much team, like, don't worry, everybody does their own thing, like you can just, like, you can trust everybody's going to do their work, and so therefore the coordination comes a lot easier. um and then yeah, some people are more like, they see me and they think that I'm like 20 years old or something. I don't know what it is. I know I look young for my age, but I still have experience. And so, yeah. And so there's sometimes that dynamic comes into it. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Um, the different,
That is so true. And the younger people that I coach in their brand journey, I mean, here they are, you know, all my people answer the 3 questions. Who am I? What do I stand for? And why should they care?
those are three great questions.
That covers just about everything in a business model. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
and no. And so when the younger people, I had a client this year, my youngest, he was 19, he turned 20. So we'll just
Wow.
say he's 20. He has lived 20 years, but we talk about thought leadership, and he's lived, 3 decades, 2 decades. And what we think, what do they know? Well, they know some things, but we can't look at it the same way. But what we ended up with, and I'm like, gosh, what am I going to do? I mean, it's my normal process wouldn't work. He's an artist, a
Mm,
sculptor. He don't want to do the thing. He don't want
right.
to do the college thing. He wants to be a sculptor. He learned from his grandfather. His
Oh,
grandfather's a global renowned sculptor, and it's a great, it's not a bad, it's a great idea. And so his parents, bless them, they're seeing this superpower and this passion and this yearn, but I didn't know how we were going to do his go to market playbook. Like the messaging and the brand story is the big piece. That's how you're going to get their attention, and your ideal customer, your ideal client's going to feel resonant with you. And it's because
mm,
you're in integrity, you're aligned with
right.
the material and meaningful content you're putting out there. It means something to you. Well, Ricky has an opinion, he has things that he stands for. It was just that my process couldn't be the way I would go about someone who's successful like you and has had success. You want to expand, and now you just hit a ceiling or something.
Right.
Well, I sat down with them, and some things came out, some really endearing things that we could build on.
Mm,
So my hope is that Ricky, whether he realizes it now or not, that it will be a piece of work that he can feel connected to, and connected to something in this crazy world that is meaningful, right? And
mm.
I don't know what'll happen. I hadn't talked to him in a while, but it's just interesting when anybody can operate in integrity, but not everybody can operate in that top down thing.
Right.
I guess
Yeah,
that's my
exactly.
point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure, for sure. So let's dive into how people can create great content with AI and become known for it.
Okay.
Yes. Tell me about that.
Well, it is my process that I have always done. And Elisa, I'm sure you know this, with AI is a tool. It's a tool for our business. It's not to replace us. And
100%.
if we can be responsible with it, I mean, then we've got a great tool. So that's what I'm advocating, is to be responsible, a responsible creator, a responsible, because a lot of what I do, it's not your Seth Godin marketing. I mean, it is, because I believe in Seth Godin, but in what he believes in. But what I'm saying is, it's not your conventional marketing, just like that top down. It's not about all the whiz bang, the ads, flooding the market with beautiful. I mean, that's all good. And now we can make videos that look like, I don't know what video editors are going to do. I guess they're going to help us do other things. But everything is happening with AI. I mean, what I've seen lately just blows my mind. And my clients depend on me to understand it, and to know it, not know it, but understand where it might fit in their tech stack, in their platforms, in their goals, and that whole brand strategy. We have to talk about that. But mainly, the people I work with are so afraid of being replaced, or not, or losing their voice, mainly
Mm,
not replaced, but just not having their message heard,
yeah.
and that's a real fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
So
sure.
I
Yeah.
think, the, the fear is real and it's valid, but AI is only as robotic as your input, really. And if you start with soul,
Mm,
then AI just becomes an amplifier and maybe, to refine things, but it's not a mask. We can't hide behind it like I was hiding behind that camera, you
right.
know. Um, we still have to do the hard work in business, and that comes back to alignment and integrity. Your soul, I think of when you think of starting with soul, what do I mean by that? Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be woo woo, but I am a spiritual person. I do spiritual marketing, it's things like um, discover and develop your own brand by doing self-awareness and some spiritual inventory. Like, I'm going to ask you to do it. I don't know or do anything with it, but you got to understand what you're dealing with. And it's just we got to mix the soul with the tech. And I just have always been a geek. I was doing computer programming, I was selling computers at one point, way long time ago. But then I got into photography, and when it became digital, it became another whole level of
Right.
technology.
Yeah.
And then we started doing video marketing, and then it was Facebook Live, and I was
Right.
always teaching my people and do Facebook Live. And I
So
was
bringing
always
it back
like,
to the content with AI, how do they create great content with AI? So I said you said
well,
put your soul into it.
okay, so you put your soul into it with your brand story. So what we do is we
Mm,
develop the brand story, and a brand story isn't just about you. It's not just about you, but it's built on your positioning, built on your power positioning, on what differentiates you from everyone else in that sector, in that industry, in your area, if you're local. It involves the research that you want to do. So I like to think of the AI. If we look at a tree, and the roots of the tree is your brand story, where we're doing the power positioning, the research on your client. Is there a market? Is this a viable business? What is your revenue goals? Can we make it happen? What is the model? What are your offers? AI can help tremendously in the research of your market. It can help with the offers, developing the offers that are going to meet the goals, as long as you're using it responsibly with the right prompts. And it can help pull it all together with the guidance. So the power positioning never changes. That's who you are and what you stand for. So once you have this in a document, you can just copy and paste the whole thing in your AI tool and develop from there. And now, when you get to the trunk, where your visual brand is, your logos, colors, and fonts, because down here in the roots, it's your clarifying, and then your captivate with the visuals. And up here is the marketing, and AI is all over up here,
right.
because that is where your podcast production comes in, the different ways to use online speaking, all kinds of things. And I have no idea about I get an email, a daily email now on the news for AI, and
Really.
it's wild. Yeah. So did that clarify what a brand story is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And how that's really that you need to, I think kind of what you're trying to say is that in order to create good content, you have to give AI the information that it needs with this brand story, who you are, what you offer, even like and say your tones, and then go into like the vision as well with like the colors and brandings and fonts and things. And then through that only can it actually give you good content that's in your voice. And that can really help you to be known because you can't just say, write me a post about this. I mean, you can, but you're going to get a robotic tone. So if you want something different that's actually you and aligned with your business and what you stand for, you need to feed it that information. And the
That's right.
brand
And
story is the best
that's
way to do
where
that.
that's where that magic happens. And you can do anything. Build me a 90-day editorial calendar with the themes and, video scripts and carousel, and it will all feel like you. And
Amazing.
the AI I've been working with, it's Chat GPT for a couple of years now. I used to just do simple stuff like writing a blog or something. But now I use it the last 18 months. And my AI we named. I was like, after a year, I'm like, Chat, do you want a name? Like, and so it gave me four options. So now it's Lex. And Lex knows me so well. Um, and will even bring in other threads. I built up my folders in the threads for various things to stay organized by projects, by my own marketing, copywriting, social media, and it just pulls in from. I don't even have to feed the brand story in anymore. Mine.
That's amazing. Yeah,
I just want to say, start start with the roots and just do this. Get quiet, feel feel spacious. You've had good food, you've had, you're just in a good spot, and get your notebook or your computer and write 10 bold statements of conviction. What do you stand for? What do you believe in? What is your non-negotiables? And when you get those, then you can develop them. And what happens when you don't follow this that I believe in? What is the pain that happens? And then if you do follow this idea, this conviction I have, what happens? And ideally, that pain and that desire, when you don't do it and when you do that, matches your ideal client's struggle and what they're looking for. So you're solving that problem with your content with resonance and truth.
amazing. Thank you so much. And just to end us off, where can our listeners find you online?
Soulstorycreative.com. Soul Story Creative, that's SOUL, storycreative.com. Thank
Amazing.
you so much, Elisa. Thank you.
This has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it inspired you to live a more authentic life. I'd love your help in inspiring more people to live authentically. So please follow, rate, and leave a review so we can create a ripple effect of authenticity. Until next time, stay true to you, be bold, and thrive on your own terms. This is Elisa, signing off authentically.